Hey everybody, I'm using my phone in OBS as a fourth camera. That way I can kind of look around and show you my studio. We are continuing the series on how to self-record in Reaper. Today we are talking about drum mics. I've got 9 drum mics. One inside the kick. One inside each, one on each tom, just cheap Behringer drum mics. The kick is a Shure kick drum mic. Then I got a Rode stereo pair of Rode matching pair for overheads. Got an AT2020 for a mono room mic. And I have 257s on the snare. I'm going to be working on just a raw drum sound today for a song that I'll be recording in this series. I'm going to record the whole song, all the instruments, all the vocals, everything myself. It's a song called Safe in the Dark. So I'm actually going to show you how to record a full song. For me, that always starts with drums. I have a little bit of a scratch track that we'll get to, but that way I can have something to listen to while I record the drums. Anyway, here's our 9 drum mics. As you can see, I got them labeled. Whatever interface you use, it's going to be different on your end. I recommend you at least have, 3 or 4 mics on drums. I'd like to go with at least 8. So that's my setup. I'm getting closer to the mic, as you can hear. Into this setup. That's the mic you hear. That's my talkback vocal mic. Badass 440 Lewitt 440 Pure. So that goes into Reaper. As you can see, I've got my tracks here. Kick, snare, top and bottom, tom 1, 2, and 3. And I have all of those going into a bus that is for shells. And then I have overhead 1 and 2 and room. And then I have all of that going into a full kit bus right here. So, all right, that's enough of the cell phone video. It's pretty cool though. I got my phone to work in OBS and work as a fourth camera. So let's go into OBS and switch back to the other camera and see if that works. Ta-da! Da-da-da. Now how do I turn off the phone cam? That'll be a whole nother YouTube series. How to turn off the phone cam. Anyway, let's go to this other scene. Let's go to display capture. Here we are in Reaper. That's a much better view for you. As you can see, I've got it. My kick drum is on analog 7. Here on I have no plugins on any tracks except for the vocal talkback mic, which you can hear and see right here. And on that I have, let's see, I have Howard Benson vocals, which is a all-inclusive, everything you need for vocals, except for a gate. That's the only thing that Howard Benson vocals doesn't have. So I use Steven Slate virtual mix rack. This gate, the drum gate is phenomenal. The regular gate is phenomenal. I use the VCC channel on the Brit 4KE. I use the Brit 4KE channel strip for EQ. That's pretty much all I use on every channel for now. So that is only on my vocals right now. I have a mix rack that are let's see, what are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 effects here. I'm gonna change the color on these. On mine, to change the color, all you gotta do is highlight what you want and push Control X. And I'm gonna turn those, and let's just turn them black. That way they're not any color. Let's turn this kick. Let's turn that purple so we know that's We can collapse that down. All right, so on my effects rack, which is just 3 reverbs, 2 delays, and some saturation for some parallel saturation. And then I put an EQ on that bus because I have all of my effects going into a bus. And then I cut all the lows, most of the highs, and give a bump at 1K. That's how I like my effects to roll. I don't compress my effects. That's just me. So I can collapse that down. This is the tracking setup that I have. You will develop your own, but I have it all set up to where my drum tracks are all mic'd up and ready to go behind me. And as you can see, they're all ready to go. I have 2 guitar tracks that are going into my Rupert Neve DI box, and I have them set up because I like to run stereo, guitar left, guitar right. I have a bass guitar going into the same Neve DI box, and then I have this vocal track, and I'll duplicate all these tracks like when I do doubling vocals. All I gotta do is right click and push duplicate tracks, and now you got 2. That's why I love Reaper. So we'll just name this one Vocals 2. So this is basically a tracking template. It's all set up, ready to go. I've obviously got a vocal mic. I have 9 drum mics. I got 2 guitar tracks, a bass track. That's pretty much it. I mean, I could set up a synth track just to have one because I like to mix synth into all my songs. It just gives it flavor. So let's set up a synth track. Let's go double click, synth 1. Go to MIDI. If you have a MIDI pad, I have this Akai MPK Mini. Go to MPK Mini. Let's go ahead and put a sampler on there. I use Slate Digital, and they have one of the best samplers in the world called Anna 2. I still haven't found all of its sounds. Sometimes I just turn on Anna 2 and just sit here and do this. I've got it armed. I'll just sit here and do this. It'll be like, ooh, that's pretty cool. And then I'll click to the next one. That's pretty cool. And then, here, let me put that where you can see it. This is Anna 2 from Slate Digital. I get lost trying to find new sounds. Let's do Broken Pipes. Like I said, you could totally get lost just having fun. Like I said. Anyway, that's how you set up a synth track. So we'll turn that off. Leave that for when I add synth later. So this will be the tracking setup for the song Safe in the Dark. Let's go ahead and we've been passing files back and forth, so let's make sure this passes back and forth too. And I'm going to upload this to the Google Drive to where if you want to download this template, I'll put up a template that has only stock Reaper plugins. Actually, I'll do that later. Yeah, because that'll mess up my vocals, my vocal talkback mic. But we'll work on that in the next video. We'll go with stock Reaper plugins for this whole thing. That's a good idea. That way, if you have Reaper and you download this, you can totally just pop it in. But actually, let's do that now. That's why we're here. So I'm going to kill these 2 vocal plugins. Let's put this mic a little closer. As you can tell, that's a big difference. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Stock plugins. Go to Kukos. Right there. Let's go with comp first. Aggressive vocals. Check, check, check. Auto makeup. Limit the gain. There we go. We got some compression on a vocal talkback mic. All right. Yeah. All right. That could probably be a little bit hotter. So let's turn it up a bit. And you probably just heard a truck going down Reno. Let's fix that with re-gate. All right, let's turn up this gate and see where it rolls. Check, check. I want it to be fast. Hold a little bit. Check, check. All right. Check, 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 check. Yes. Check. All right. There's not a preset for any of this in Reaper. Check. All right. Check. All right. Check. All right. Woo! That sounds pretty good. Let's get some EQ. Go with RIA EQ. Cut off that low end. We'll probably do the same to the... let's go ahead and give it a boost up there. Let's get some of that mid-range for my voice. Yeah. All right. That should be pretty cool. We can cut some of these muddy frequencies here. Probably around 400 in my voice. Let's cut some of the nasally stuff. That's usually around 1K in my voice, as you can hear as it's changing. Here, let's make that a little bit bigger. All right, yeah. All right. Check. Woo! Check, all right. And there we are. That's the 440 pure, pretty raw. Let's go ahead and add some verb, which we've already got our effects rack set up over here, as you can see. So let's just put some, how about some room verb? There we go, yeah. I don't like room. Let's try my vocal verb. Ooh, that's delay. Ooh. Vocal verb. And delay. Whee! Just a touch. Just a tiny bit. About minus 40. Woo! All right, that's not bad. Okay. Which, I just thought of this. These aren't stock plugins. So we'll have to go through and find stock Reaper plugins to replace all these. That'll take me a minute. But if you have the Reaper Vault, or I'm sorry, the Freedom Vault that I sent you, let's change out this stock plugin. Let's change out this SSL paid plugin for the free version, which is a Air Windows. Right here. And this one is super easy to use. It has one knob. It's called Butter Comp. And it's basically like an SSL comp. So let's bring it up. Here's how the thing that most people don't like about Air Windows is their plugins are very basic. There's no readout. You got to use your ears. So we're just going to compress this all the way. Nah, let's go with just half. And let's go with another Air Windows plugin called Add Clip 7. This will make sure we never clip our master while we're just messing around. Let's go ahead and boost it by about 3 dB. As you can hear, I'm getting a little bit more up in the front. Here we are. All right, let's find a stock reverb to replace this. Up in the JS plugins, which if you go through my YouTube channel, there is a video on how to install these plugins. They're the free plugins that come with Reaper, but you have to install them. It's the JS plugins. Just Google JS plugins in Reaper and you'll find them. There is a very cool lexicon reverb that comes free, and it's classic and awesome. There we go. We're going to put that lexicon on all 3 of these reverb channels and pick different settings for each one. All right, for this, I want to have a hall for my vocal verb, and I want to have a medium room for my room verb, and a plate verb for my plate. So we have plate, room, and verb. Now for delay, I normally use repeater, which is a badass, my favorite delay, but we're going with stock. So let's replace that with a JS plugin. It is really simple. These JS plugins, they work great, but they are exactly what they say. Here's one that's just called delay. That's not the one I want. Place. There we go. That way you can pick. This will be a quarter-inch or quarter delay, and we'll work on that later. It sounds like it's working pretty good already. I can hear it a little bit. Let's crank that. That's the delay machine right there. Pretty much doing what it's supposed to do. Let's crank it back down. We don't want that much. Check. All right, now we're using stock plugins for my vocal talkback, and we're going to replay. There we go. We have 2 delays. I'm going to set this one to half because that's the other delay I like. It's called delay and throw in my world. This is a free plugin I want you to download. Go to pbpbedroomproducers.com and Saturator. Beautiful plugin. You're gonna want it. So now all of the plugins on this template are stock plugins. And I'm gonna make this emailable so you can download it on your side and bring up this project file. And then all you'll have to do is change these input settings to whatever inputs you're using on your interface. You should be good to go. This is a very easy stock tracking template. And I'll put this in the description of this video. So let's go create a folder for this. Go to my, here, this is my drive. Let's go to create a new folder. Let's call this one Safe in the Dark. Track yourself. All right. Now we go back to Reaper. I'm going to pull this down here so you can see it. Get rid of some of this confusing stuff, excuse me. All right, so here is that same session in Reaper, but from the track view. And then we have the mixer view right here. So track view, mixer view. In my setup, all you have to do is push / to get back and forth. There are videos on how to do that on my channel. Just go back and check out some of my previous videos. So now we have this full tracking template with reverbs and comps and all of the drum mics, 2 guitar tracks, synth, vocals. We got everything we need to track this song, and it's all stock Reaper plugins. So let's save this. That way I can send it to you. Save project as. This is the most important part. Make sure these first 2 boxes are clicked. Super important. So, safe in the dark tracking session 1. Now we go to that folder we created. Safe in the dark, track yourself. Make sure both of these are clicked. Oh, now it saved this entire template, which is blank, into that folder. Also, when you go to record your files, all of the files for this session will be put into that same folder. So I'm going to upload that to my drive and put a link in the description. So that's the setup. That's my room. I got a stock Reaper template for you to download. I'll put another link to the Reaper Vault, the Freedom Vault, that has all of the plugins that you saw me use, all of the Air Window plugins. I think even the saturation plugin is in there. Everything is in that vault. So download the vault, download my Reaper theme, download the template for tracking, and we'll come back and get started on drums. Sounds good to me. Party on, Wayne.